Hey guys, Willie here, and it's been exactly 1 week that I've been off grid. I'm just going to answer a couple questions I got from people, and I'll tell you a little update, what I'm going to do next, and how things are changing weather-wise and everything else for me. So let's get the questions out of the way first. Yes, I'm Canadian, Canadian accent. Why am I doing this? Well, like I said before in the startup video, I want to see if I can comfortably on minimum, if there was a grid down or a long-term power outage from a storm or whatnot, could I get by on the basics for any length of time, me and my son? And the short answer is yes. The cost. What's it cost to do this, or what's it cost to do a whole house setup? Well, I teach emergency home preparedness courses, and it all varies depending on how much wattage, how much power, everything else. Long story short, if you want to do it on the cheap, the absolute cheap, you can get a couple deep cycle batteries, 100-watt solar panel, charge controller off Amazon, inverter off Amazon. You could do everything for about $800-900 on your house, permanent setup. It will give you a lot of power? No. It'll give you enough to get by, to run, lights and stuff like that. I use portable solar generators. One, because they're portable. Two, they have the inverter built in. The charger, you need nothing. You just plug them into your wall and off you go. The battery technology is cheaper compared to just buying outright LifePo batteries. We won't get into different battery types and all that stuff. It's a different video. Right now, for decent panels, you are paying about 80 cents a watt. So if you're going to buy a 100-watt panel, 80 cents times 100, that's going to be your cost. $80, $90 for a panel. Same with solar generators, anywhere from $60 to $99 a watt. It all depends on the brand. The better the brand doesn't necessarily mean the better the generator. Some are way overpriced. Jackery and Blue Yeti and stuff are way overpriced. The competition out there is just as good as better, and it's a lot cheaper. That's what you're going to get willing to pay. And if you're going to get a 1,000-watt generator, 600,000 watts, minimum get a 100-watt solar panel. That's just my word of advice. 100-watt solar panel, perfect condition. At least you'll get that 1,000 watts charged between 50 and 80% during a full sun day. Bigger the panel, the faster the charge time. But that being said, how's my week been so far? Well, running the fridge and the internet, not a problem. Lots of power there, no complaints. A little bit concerned because I'm going into a cloudy stretch and they're calling for several days and no sunshine. That being said, will I have enough? We will see. I know when we had smoke in the air from the wildfires out west, I was several days without any sunshine. My panels were picking up nothing, and I'm only running 300 watts worth of panels. I have the ability to go up to 400, but it's kind of tricky to where I live and how to get them set up. I'm going to now, my week is over. My cooking struggled. It wasn't the fact that I didn't have enough juice for the cooking side of it. It just sucked. It sucked bad cooking on that thing. The butane stove worked good. Canisters last about 15 hours with the cooking, but I miss my air fryer. I miss my convection oven. I can't, we fried French fries. We did everything we could in fry pans and pots, but I need my oven. Could I get along without it if I had to? Yes. But I need more power because I want to be able to air fry chicken wings. I want to be able to air fry French fries. I want to be able to air fry, put the pizza in there and stuff like that. We didn't suffer when we ate, that's for sure, but the quality or the convenience certainly wasn't there of not having an air fryer or a microwave. So the media side of things, media was not bad. We kept 500 watts for media on it every day. The biggest factor we didn't contribute is charging our cell phones and his tablet. He's constantly on that stupid tablet playing video games, playing whatever, Roblox or whatever the hell he does on there, and the tablet's constantly needing charging. And that was a draw because it's plugged in every other second, and I didn't take accountability for that. So there was a few nights where, a couple times we had to really, no more using it. We're not charging anything. We're not going to run any media. You know what, we're going to talk, we're going to play cards, we're going to play games, we're going to wrestle, we're going to do whatever. And it was kind of nice because we got a chance to do other things we don't normally do with, except, you know, our heads down in our devices or whatever. So that was kind of different. In the future, I think I'm going to go out and get a couple more board games, some card games, stuff like that, so we can hang out even if we have the power. Just, you know, making 1 or 2 nights a week where it's just no electronic devices, just let's sit around the table and have fun. So that's going to spawn that. So what I'm going to do now is I managed for the first week, and I'm going to go into a hard week with no sunshine all week. I know that. I am going to swap out the 1,000-watt Montech that was being used to cover my media and my cooking, and now I'm going to upgrade to a 2,000-watt unit. So I'm going to run a total of 3,000 watts. I could get by on 2,000 watts, me and my son. It was tough. It was very conscious on what you had to monitor and not monitor. But we did it. Could we do it if we had to long term? Sure. But was it comfortable? It was inconvenience at times. The cooking was the big one. So I've done the week, and now I have to worry about other things too. The weather changed. The last 2 days last week, I was dying. 34 degrees or 35 degrees with a Humidex here. I had no air conditioning, no power to run air conditioning. I still had 1 unit left in, but we couldn't power it. It was horrible. We had no fans. We had nothing. It was a god-awful couple days of heat, and now the temperature, boom. Polar vortex is in the air. Woke up this morning, it was felt like 4 degrees outside Celsius. That being said, by the end of this month, already today, I wanted to turn on some heat. So I'm going to upgrade to a 2,000-watt unit, so I'm going to run a total of 3,000 watts. What's that extra 1,000 watts going to change now? I'll be able to use my air fryer. I'll be able to use the microwave if I want. Am I still going to rely on the butane stove and everything else for the daily cooking? Yes. The air fryer runs a lot of power, but if I'm only going to use it for a few minutes at a time, that's okay. I'm going to have to monitor, but I have that extra 1,000 watts to fall back on now. It's more of a comfort zone than anything else. So, and also, big one is, by the end of next week, looking at the long-term forecast, I'm going to have to focus on heating. Now, heating with solar is a whole different ball of wax. Heating draws a lot of power. I have low-watt heaters. I have 12-volt electric blankets we can use, but it's going to be very creative. I do have a Big Buddy with propane. I use that. I used to have an indoor kerosene heater. You've seen some of my videos. Now that I changed locations, I don't need nothing like that, but it's got some chill in the air, and it's going to get chillier, I think, and hot water bottles are going to be a thing, and we might even have to worry about a little bit of electric heat on the generators, and then I'm going to really have to crunch down and focus. But my big thing is, overall, the weather is changing. The sun is not coming around for a week, so we are really going to have to be conscious, even with that extra 1,000 watts. So hold on, I'm going to show you real quick the unit I'm swapping out, and we'll pretty much wrap it up for now. So this is the update. This is the 2,000 watt Pecron LiFePO batteries. Lithium iron phosphate, what's LiFePO means, better than lithium iron. This hopefully will give me the extra juice I need when the cloud is there, because even with the 200 watt solar panel hooked up to this, actually what I ended up doing was connecting the 200 watt and the 100 watt in series, and then kind of feeding one back and forth to the other, the internet to this and that, and sometimes I plug in here for just a little bit of the other one. But anyways, yeah, so this is the extra 1,000 watts. Hopefully this is going to give us a little more comfort, a little more leeway. Like I said, an average home is going to run around 7 or 8 kilowatts, 8,000 watts a day. So keeping that in mind, I mean, this unit itself is 2,000 watts, but you can buy add-on batteries for fairly cheap that bring this up to 8,000 watts. This unit and the 2 add-on batteries that are 3,000 watts a piece would run your house. The beauty about these is they're very easy to hook up to your electrical panels. They're not hard, about $175 to do it, and they're great. This is just my preferred brand that I love. One more question, just comment came in about my last little nibbit there about the storm bulbs on my last video. Yes, I forgot I had them. I've had storm bulbs for years. They've been around for years. You can go on Amazon, type in storm bulbs, power out bulbs. You get a 4-pack for around $40. And like, if you haven't watched the last video, they're normal bulbs you put in your lamps, but they got lithium-ion batteries built in. And what happens is they're smart technology. So if your lamp's plugged in and the power goes out, it won't come on. But if you go to flick the light switch and turn it on, or turn on the lamp, it'll come on. It recognizes when the lamp's unplugged, when it's not unplugged, when there's no power, when there's power. And they take about an hour to charge. You use them every day. They charge while they're in your lamp socket. And they give you about 6 hours worth of light. And I forgot I had them. So it came in handy when it was 34 or 35 degrees Humidex out there, and I didn't want to run oil lamps to help heat. You know, they throw off a lot of heat. So the cold weather's here. I can still use the bulbs when I get back in my oil lamps, and we'll go from here. Keep the questions coming, guys. Like I said, this is an adventure. I think the struggle is yet to come, because the cold weather's here. I got to worry about heating now, and a lot of cloudy days ahead. So we're gonna see what happens. Are we gonna make through it, or am I gonna have to break down and flip the breaker back on? We will see. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Wild Willie, and remember, it's not a question if this shit hits a fan, it's a question of when. So always be prepared.